As I listened to the door shut behind me, I moved up next to the wall and took a look around. It was too dark to see all the way to the end of the hallway, but it didn't seem to be anyone there. The green light of the emergency exit reflected off the floor, bathing us in dim light. Taku, your hand! I realized I was still holding Serika's hand. I quickly let go and she turned her hand toward the wall. Look!
Huh?
Oh. She was pointing at the simple map of the ward. It showed the nurse's station, the exam rooms, and what were probably the numbers for the patients' rooms. The people who draw those pictures was in a private room in the far back, right? Serika nodded. But the map didn't say if the rooms were singles or not. I looked at the doors in front of me. There were plates with what looked like 2 patient names. These rooms were doubles, which meant that any room with the same layout was also probably a double. I looked back at the map. Where were the private rooms? I found them, right here. Damn, they really are in the back. This way? Serika pointed further down the hall. With Serika behind me, I turned to the side and started to walk as quietly as I could. That weird scent unique to hospitals was stinging my nose. I was used to it, but it was still a little creepy. And it was too quiet. If this was a psych ward, I expected to hear some crazy screaming or something. No, that's just prejudice. Even if it's a sealed ward, most of the patients here are probably just old people with Alzheimer's. You wouldn't expect the patient to be screaming 24 hours a day, especially after lights out. But what was with the air here? No, it didn't matter. It was just another dim hallway. I wasn't going to the scene of the crime this time.
Huh?
That's what you think, Takeru. I mean, I know it's not the scheduled date for it, but we don't know. We might find a dead person or 2. Preferably 1 if there's 2 in a double room. I don't know how I fucked up somewhere. Oh. And then I realized. Come to think of it, when I got inside the Love Hotel, I first tried to get past the door and almost given up. I turned around and saw the empty hallway stretching out before me, past a confused Serika. The automatic door was on the other side of the corner. The door opened on its own then, too. That's right. The door to the hotel had opened on its own, just like the automatic door here. The police had told me I'd been mistaken, but maybe it really was. Taku? What's wrong? Nothing. I realized that I'd stopped moving. Crap, was that a nurse? This way! Oh, there was blood in Matsushita's IV. What? Again? Did it come out? Well, you see... I could hear what sounded like 2 nurses in the hallway. Did they find us? No. I listened carefully. They seemed to be talking about a patient. Good, they haven't found us. We'd have to stay here until they left. Hey, Taku! Actually? When we snuck in last time, do you remember where we went? I took my ear off the door. Of course I remember. No, actually, I don't remember where exactly. I tried to think back to what I'd seen many times in the dream. It was 8 or 9 years ago. Around that long ago, I was still in elementary school. But I don't think it was the psych ward. I couldn't remember how we got in exactly, but I didn't remember sneaking through an automatic door. And that wasn't the kind of treatment you'd see in a psych ward. Actually, I don't think you could even call that treatment, whatever it was. It was like some... From the flashbacks I keep seeing, it's like some Clockwork Orange shit. And I'm not against it. Well, at least the imagery. I like it for a horror aesthetic. I'm almost definitely against the treatment in what it's doing. What's wrong? I was about to ask before I saw her face and realized what was wrong. Are you okay? Huh? Yeah, I'm okay. She clearly wasn't okay. Did she remember what happened before? Come to think of it, actually, she tried to act strong and failed last time, too. We're not doing anything big here. We just get information from the artist and go home. That's all, right? The nurses must have finished talking because I could hear the footsteps getting further away. Okay. Serica slapped her cheeks with her hands and tried to snap herself out of it. Let's go, Taku. Yeah. When we got to the room, the dim light of the emergency exit lamp was shining down on it. Here? I nodded. This was probably the place. It was a private room in the back, and there were no nameplates on other private rooms we'd passed. I'm opening the door. There was no time to hesitate. We could run into a nurse at any moment. I looked to the left and right, and checked that there was no one there before opening the door. It was a dark room with no lights. There was enough light to see my hands, but not my feet. Is there no one here? The bed against the wall was empty. The blanket was rolled up. Serica looked over to see if I saw. Was it not this place? Maybe I'll check the other rooms. I went to leave when Serica grabbed my arm. What? Taku! Look! Huh? Serica pointed at the back wall of the room. Her hand was shaking a little. It was too dark to see. I softly crept forward to get a better look. What is this? The whole wall. The whole wall was covered with drawings of the sumo sticker in what looked like red paint. Oh, that. I feel sick. Which one is it? That one. Yeah. I don't think that's red paint, guys. At least I'm hoping it's red paint. Because if it's not red paint, oh boy, where did you get all that blood from? Like, I know we're in a... I almost said a hotel. I know we're in a hospital, but, like, damn. Serica grabbed onto my arm. The warmth reminded me that I wasn't alone. That made me feel just a little better. If I'd seen this alone, I might have screamed and gone crazy. What's this smell? I noticed that there was an unpleasant scent coming from the red paint on the wall. I took another step forward, and then I realized. I put my hand in front of my mouth to stifle a scream. And then another hand in front of Serica's mouth to stop her from screaming too. What's wrong? Serica ripped my hand away from her mouth and clung to me tighter. This isn't paint. Huh? It's blood. The strange smell like rust was the same thing I'd smelled at the Love Hotel incident during the Revolving Dead. Who had drawn these? Who would draw something like this? And in blood? I imagined someone locked in a dim room, endlessly drawing paintings in blood on a blank wall, and a shiver went down my spine. I got goosebumps all over my body. This place is dangerous. There was something very wrong with this room. Taku? What are you doing? Huh? I suddenly realized I was holding a smartphone in my quavering hand. Without even realizing it, I pushed the record button and started filming the drawings on the wall. No, this isn't the time for this. Let's go, okay? Serica tried to drag me back. Yeah. But my body wouldn't move. I knew it was dangerous to stay here, but I couldn't move. Serica was saying something behind me. But while I could hear the sounds, I couldn't understand what they meant. And then... I heard a sound from somewhere in the dark room. It was the sound of someone scratching something. I gulped. And my body froze up even more. Taku? I heard a sound somewhere. Who's there? Someone was in here with us. Someone was in this room. In the darkness. I could hear the sound of something hard being scratched again. But the sound bounced off the walls of the square room and I couldn't tell where it was coming from. I desperately searched around the room, eyes cloudy with terror. How the hell did you miss her? How long had they been here? A girl was crouching on the floor alone with her back to us. She was right next to the bloody sumos, a hand wrapped around her knees, and she was staring at her feet. She was staring at a drawing of the sumo sticker. It was too dark to tell for sure, but I thought I saw something dripping off her finger. That was blood! She'd cut her finger to draw that. She was drawing those pictures. She also doesn't appear to have responded to us. I couldn't speak. My throat wouldn't work. I had questions to ask her. Who are you? Did you draw the stickers all over town? Why are you drawing those? But I just couldn't speak. The strange sight before me filled me with an indescribable terror. I was overcome by the idea that if I talked to her now, if she turned around, she would transform into something else and attack me. Taku! Huh? I heard my name and turned towards Serica. hand was clutching my arm tightly.
どうしたの？
What's wrong?
この
Oh, no, eh?
急に怖い声出して。
Why did you sound so
何
scared?
かあったの？
何かって
Why?
お前
Can't you see? Shaking, I punched at the girl on the floor. But... Huh? There was no one there. I was standing in the middle of a hospital room, shaking, and staring at the drawings of the sumo sticker design on the wall. My hand had numbly lowered. My smartphone was recording only my crotch.
大丈夫？
Are you okay? Sarika looked at me worried.
あの女の子
What happened to that girl?
女の子？
Girl?
って
What are you talking about?
今そこにいただろ
She was just there, right? But there was no one in the direction I was pointing. Just eerie pictures in an empty room.
やだ。
Oh no.
怖いこと言わない
Don't scare me like that.
じゃあ今のは
Then that was just a delusion? Or maybe whoever had drawn the bloody pictures on the wall was already dead. But some trace of their spirit was bound into those paintings and trapped inside the room? No, that was way too paranormal for me. It was impossible. But I couldn't get the image of the crouching girl I thought I'd seen out of my head.
お前行こ
Inoue, let's go.
多分
This probably isn't a good place. Yeah. I took Sarika's hand and slowly started to walk backwards. It felt like if I made a sound, all of the eyes of the sumos drawn on the wall would open and stare at me. Their third eyes, to be precise. We made it back into the door and jumped out into the hallway. That was scary.
ちょっと来て。そっちはいいから。
Come here, you can do that later.
先生にも連絡を。何か
Call
あった
the
かもしれ
doctor
ま
too.
せん。
But something might have happened. I could hear a frantic voice down the hallway.
まずい
Oh no. The hospital staff must have heard my scream. They probably thought something had happened to a patient. They were going to find us. Huh? Did I just hear a sound from the emergency exit?
タク、ここ。
Taku! Here! It's open! Sarika jumped onto the door. Huh? Hurry! Yeah.
どう？そっちは
Well, did you find anything?
異常なしです。
Everything's
何があったん
normal.
でしょう？
What do you think happened? I could faintly hear the voices of the nurses running back and forth across the hallway. Evidently, they hadn't found us.
助かったね。
We're saved, right? I could hear Sarika take a sigh of relief in the darkness. Yeah. I used the light from my phone to look around. We were on the landing of a staircase. This was probably the emergency stairs.
降りられそうだね。
We can probably get down from here. Sarika looked down, illuminating the stairs with her own phone.
なんで
Why?
お？
Huh?
なんで開いてたんだ
Why was it open?
非常口だから。
Because it's the emergency exit, right?
でも閉鎖病棟だぞ
But this is a sealed ward, right? If they were keeping this automatic door locked, there was no way they wouldn't lock the emergency exit.
きっと閉め忘
They
れ
probably
だ。
forgot to lock it. Did they? Could we really get that lucky? And I was sure I'd heard a sound.
タ くそれより
Taku?
今はここ
Forget it, we need to get out of here. Sarika pointed down the stairs. Yeah, you're right. I used the light from my phone to look at the knob on the emergency door. Good. It was the type that opened from the inside. The other doors probably were too.
下へ降りて出口を探そう
Let's go down and look for an exit.
オッケー
Okay.
タクさっきの壁の絵
Taku, those pictures on the wall. Yeah. Sarika was probably thinking the same thing I was. Was that where the creator of the sumo stickers was kept? Or someone who had something to do with the case? But in the end, I had no answer. There was a whole wall of sumo sticker images, drawn in someone's blood. That was the only information we had. Sarika seemed to understand that as well, because she didn't ask any more questions.
よし開いた
Good, it opened. I unlocked the door and quietly opened it, then peered down the hallway beyond. I've seen you! You two were at the fucking... where the wall was put up. Also, yeah, that was the girl that's drawing all the faces in blood. I'm pretty sure. I ducked without even thinking. I placed my hand on the open door to support myself, then quickly yanked my body back inside towards the stairs. Why? What were those two doing here? There was no mistaking it. Those were the two that Toe had noticed in the club room this morning. Wait, what? No, wait, what? Sarika stuck her head out just a little and saw them too. She dropped down. I put my hand over her mouth before she could finish. I know, so don't make any noise. Why were they here? Was there some connection between them and the sumo stickers after all? I could hear footsteps. Theirs. I couldn't move. They'd hear me. I froze and concentrated on what I was hearing. Good. They were heading further away. Shit. Oh. Oh no. Not good. Not good. This is not good. They were getting closer. Who were these two? And what were they doing here?
やばいよ
This is bad. Maybe the killer's behind this case, or...
取り返しのつかないことになる可能
There's a
性だ
chance
ってあ
that
る
something really bad could happen. Taku! They're going to kill us? For a moment, I felt incredibly cold, like my whole body had gotten smaller. The hand I was holding against the door was slippery with sweat. My heart was pounding loudly and it hurt to breathe. No. No! Suddenly, my frozen body was yanked upward. I stumbled and tripped and then was yanked up again.
こっち
This way! Just as Sarika kicked open some kind of door and dragged me through, I saw them pick up my phone. We're okay now, right?
もう大丈夫かな
I mean, yeah, but they had my phone.
少し休
Let's rest a little. Yeah, but they had my phone and I was filming the fucking faces on the inside of the... This is problematic. This is real problematic. Especially since they are suspect as all hell. Also, why were they in our club room this morning? And why was this not mentioned until just now? Have I passed out and missed something? I feel like I passed out and missed something. I wanted to catch my breath, but it wasn't working. My legs were shaking from exhaustion, and my hands were shaking from the still lingering terror.
大丈夫だよ
It's okay. They aren't following us, I think.
だから
It was all I could do to muster a feeble nod. I had no idea, but my hands shaking made me real mad. I slammed them into the asphalt. Damn it. How? What were they doing here? And now they had my smartphone with all its data.
やっぱりきっと
I think they have something to do with the sumo stickers.
関係あるんだよ
Yeah. It couldn't be a coincidence.
あれ着信あ
Hey,
ったんだ
I got a call.
しんちゃんも
Chin-chan?
しもし尾上で
Huh?
す
It's
どう
Inoue.
したの
What's wrong?
う
Yeah. Yeah.
んうん
Yeah.
よし
Okay. My breathing had calmed down. I needed to get my thoughts in order. The phone had a lock on it. They wouldn't be able to do anything with it immediately. It was clear that the sumo stickers were involved somehow. In particular,
まだ事件が起こっていないのに
the wall filled with sumo stickers where nothing's happened yet bothers me. Come to think of it, Kurosawa says she was going to take down the security camera. What happened with that?
タク
Taku? Serika turned around, moving very slowly.
どうした
What's wrong? What did that expression mean? Serika looked away from me for a moment, and then back, as if afraid of something painful.
のんちゃんが刺された
Nod was stabbed. That's a problem. That's a very fucking big problem.
タクル兄ちゃん
Big brother Takaru!
来る
Where's Kurosu? Yui pointed toward the exam room in the back with a pained expression on her face. Damn it! This can't be. This can't be happening. Kurosu! Oh, hi, Gen. What the fuck are you doing here? What? Gen?
なんで
Why? No, forget that. Kurosu! Where's Kurosu?
静かにしなさい
Be quiet.
一応
This is a hospital, remember? Was she okay?
タクル
Takaru?
何
What?
靴脱ぎなさい
Take off your shoes. Oh, sorry.
ごめん
I'd forgotten to take them off when I came in, so I quickly yanked them off my feet. I...
僕
何
What?
いや
No,
そ
I
の
could see a bandage through gaps in her pajamas.
ああこれ
Oh, this? Kurosu lifted up her shirt a little just to show me her stomach. It was wrapped in a thick bandage.
13針
13
大したこ
stitches.
とない
It's nothing bad. You! I felt a dull pain in my face. I collapsed to the ground and then he grabbed me by the shirt and lifted me back up. The hell do you think you're doing, asshole?
何してんだよ。
ちょっと
Stop it, Kawahara.
探偵ごっこがなんか
I don't know if you think you're Sherlock Holmes or something, but this happened because you've been screwing around.
死んでてもおか
She
し
could
くな
have
かった
died, you know!
川原
Kawahara! He pushed me away violently. My face stung from the punch.
青少年
Hey, young man! Is this my beer?
はい
Yeah, supposedly there's a lot of other stuff in it too.
すまないな
Okay, thanks.
ゲンさんありがとうございま
Again,
した
thank you.
川
Kawahara,
原くん
can you help him
そ
carry
れ
it to
ゲン
his house?
さんの家まで運ぶのを手伝ってもらえる
Huh?
いやでも
No, but
お願い
please.
分かった
Fine.
あの
Kawahara glared at me for a minute, then picked up the cardboard box and left.
おうタク
Oh, Taku!
ゲンさ
Again?
んなんで
Why?
まあ
Oh, well, you know.
うん嬢ちゃん
Take care, Missy.
はい
Yeah. You
ゲ
too
ンさん
again.
も相変わらずひょうひょうと
He's
してる
always
人
so
ど
ね
easygoing, isn't he?
うして
Why?
いやじゃなくて
I mean, no.
その何があったんだ
What happened?
大丈夫なのか
Are you okay? I feel like that's a dumb question, Taku. She's been fucking stabbed. Kurasu's hand slowly stretched down to the wound on her stomach.
助けられたの通りかかったゲンさん
Gen
に
happened to be passing by and he saved
刺
me.
したやつを取り押さえて
He
くれ
caught the
た
person who stabbed me.
あなたが仕掛けたカメラ
The camera you planted.
正確には伊藤
I guess it was Ito, actually?
それは
That's...
まあいい
It doesn't matter.
とにかくカメラを
When I was
外してい
taking
る
down the
時
camera,
に
this strange
妙
person
なや
started
つに
talking to
声を
me.
かけられたの聖なる結
They said
界の場
something
所
about
で
the place of a-
どうしたこうした意味がわ
They
から
said
なかった
something
け
about
ど
the place of a holy barrier. I didn't understand what they meant.
それでいき
And
な
then
り
they got
繋
really
いだれ
close to me
て
all of a sudden. And stabbed her?
ええ
Yeah.
まったくどこで売って
Sheesh,
る
I
の
wonder
かし
why
ら
they even
ね
sell
あ
knives
あ
like
いう
that.
ナイフって
The voice was far more cheerful than I'd expected it to be. For some reason, that made everything suddenly seem real. Kurisu had really been stabbed.
それ
And then what
それ
happened?
でどうなったんだよ
殴って逃げたに決まってる
I
でし
hit them and
ょ
ran away, of
そ
course.
こにゲンさんが通り
Gen
かか
happened to
っ
be
て
passing by
取
and
り
caught
押さ
them.
えて
And then we called 110.
110番タクル
Takadu?
傷は
Is
大丈夫なのか
your wound okay?
脇腹を軽く削ぐような傷だから
It just took a little bit off the side of my
大
stomach.
丈夫
My organs are fine, that's all. I'm okay.
おや宮代くん
Oh, Miyashiro.
来てたのか
You're here.
久しぶりだな
It's been a while.
あ
Yeah.
お玄ちゃんと川原少
Alright, Gen and young Kawahara.
帰ってもらったの
I had them leave.
例のお土産は
And that gift?
渡しました。
I gave it to him.
川原くんに頼
I
んだ
had
から。
Kawahara carry it. I see, Dad said as he scratched his head. It really had been a while since I'd seen his face. Not since I'd left the dorm.
佐久間さん。
Sakuma? I'll be on my way.
ああ、
Oh,
そうでしたね
that's right.
この度
I'm sorry for the trouble Nono caused.
すいませんでした。
いいえ。
No, Kurisu is always a big help to us. Bye, Kurisu. Take care.
ありがとうございます。
Thank you.
ご迷惑を
I'm
お
sorry for
か
the
けし
trouble.
ました。
そうだ。
Oh, right.
宮代くんもいるなら
If you're here
ちょ
too,
うどいいか。
Miyashiro, this is good timing. The teacher turned around and scratched his head the same way my dad did.
ちょっと言いづらいんだけど。
This is a little hard to
君たち
tell
が完
you.
全に悪いってわけ
And
で
it's
も
not
ないんだけど
entirely your fault, but
おそらく新聞部は
The newspaper club is probably gonna have to be shut down now.
活動を自粛してもらうことになると思う。こんなことが起きちゃった以上は。
I nodded weakly. It didn't seem like there was anything else I could do.
まあね。これ
Well,
もいい
you
教訓
know,
だと思って。で
Just think of this as a good lesson.
Okay,
Okay, maybe that's rude. In other words,
先生、
sir?
はい。
Right.
お疲れ様でした。
Thank you. Kurisu made a motion to shoo him away.
はい。
Right. Kurisu suddenly sighed.
疲れた。
I'm tired.
お前。
Even the teachers are afraid of
怖
you.
がられてんのか。
違いま
No, he's
す。
always like that.
あの先生はいつもあ
Dad,
んな
I'm
感
going to
じな
rest
の。
upstairs after all.
父さん、
大丈夫か
You
明
okay?
日の診察までは寝て
You
てい
can
い。
stay here until we open tomorrow.
痛み少しだけど引いてきたから、
Pain's not as bad now.
自分のベッドの
I
方
feel
が
better in my own bed.
運ばれた病
What did they give you at the hospital when they brought you in?
ファロとロキ。少し多めに飲んだの。 あげませんからね。
Farapenem and loxaprofen? Yeah. Farapenem and loxaprofen. I took a little more than a typical dose. You can't have any, okay?
バカか。
I'm not stealing your medicine.
もし熱が出たら
Sheesh.
すぐ言えよ。
Tell me right away if you get a fever. Kurisu slowly got up. I could see her holding herself up with her hands to avoid putting any pressure on her stomach.
クルス、
Kurisu,
ごめん。
I'm sorry. I...
タクル、
Takeru,
あなた今日泊まって
stay
いき
here
なさい。
tonight. I knew her wounds had to hurt, but she was acting completely normal. That just made me feel even more depressed. I said yes in a voice so small I could barely hear it.
大丈夫よ。
I'm fine. Don't stare at me like that.
あ、いや。
Oh, no. Kurisu slowly lay down on her bed. I told her I would help her get her up to the 3rd floor, but she said it would just make it harder for her to walk. At least I could bring up the blanket all the way up to her shoulders.
ありがとう。
Thanks. This feels really strange, you know?
やっぱり違和感あるわね。
Huh?
看病される側ってなってない
I'm
の。
not used to being the one someone else is taking care of.
ちゃんと冷
Oh,
やしとき
make
なさ
sure
い
you
よ
put。some ice in that. Kurisu pointed to my cheek. She must have been talking about why Karahara hit me.
こんな時まで。
You shouldn't be worrying about other people right now. And it was my fault that this had happened.
あなたね。
Listen, just so we're
言って
clear.
おくけど。
Kurisu tried to raise her head up, But her wound must hurt her because she grimaced and lay back down.
This
isn't your fault. Getting stabbed is my own responsibility.
でも
But if I hadn't put up the camera...
なんて仕掛けなければ。
それは確かに褒められ
That
たこ
certainly
とじゃ
wasn't a
ない
very
けど
good idea.
でも
But this wasn't something you could have
予想できたことじゃ
predicted,
ないでしょ。
right? Was it?
That was true, but...
ああ、カメラ返しておく。
You can have the camera back.
ユイがその辺に置いてくれてない？
Did you put it around here somewhere?
I looked around the room and saw there was a paper bag on the desk. The camera I had Ito set up was inside. There was some damage on the corner. It must have been dropped when she was stabbed.
どんなやつだったんだよ。その犯
What
人。
was the guy who stabbed you like?
暗くてよく見えな
It
かっ
was
た
too
けど
dark to see, but
2、
I think he was a man in his 20s or 30s. Sorry, can you turn the
電
lights
気
off?
消してくれる？
It's really bright if you're
仰
lying
向けに
face
寝
up.
てると眩しい。
Oh. I turned off the lights. Kursu sighed to calm herself down.
ゲンさんに取り押さえられて
After Gang caught him, he was screaming until the police got there.
俺のネットの継承
You
に
fools
気づ
didn't
かないお
notice the
前
alarm
た
I
ちごとき
sounded
の
on the
とか
internet.
犠牲者の聖なる使いの俺に触れる
I am
な
the
とか
holy
ね
messenger of the victim, so don't touch me. That kind of stuff.
Hmm? I suddenly realized that reminded me of something. It was the same with the stuff about the Barry that Kurisu was saying downstairs. Could he be? Was Kurisu stabbed by a cultist?
管理人
The guy who made that page?
詳しくは明日
The
警
police
察の
said they'd
人
come
が
by and
来
ask
て
me
い
a bunch of
く
questions
つか聞く
tomorrow.
ことがあるって言ってたか
I
ら
think I'll learn more then.
その時わかるとは思うけど
Hmm? It felt like her voice was shaking a little.
クルス。
Kurisu?
It's
なんでも
nothing.
ない
I'm
大丈
fine.
夫
It was too dark to see clearly, but I could tell that she had her hand on her face. I finally realized that she was holding back tears. I swore at myself. Of course she was, damn it. She'd been stabbed in the stomach. Of course she was scared. Neither of us said anything for a while. I couldn't bring myself to say another word. Nothing I said would be right, and it felt like it would hurt her. I couldn't see her face. I didn't know if she was crying. But even if she wasn't crying, she may as well have been.
タクル
Takaru?
I don't know how long I was silent. My eyes had finally gotten used to the dark by the time she whispered.
言うとねラブレター
You
も
took
ら
it
っ
a
たん
love
です
letter,
っ
he
て
says.
今野さん
From Kono.
覚えてる
Do you remember her?
I didn't. I tried to remember, but maybe she wasn't expecting an answer.
5年生の時から同じクラスの
They've been in the same class since
ユートが
fifth
休んだ
grade.
時にプリントを持ってきてくれ
Yuto was
た
out sick once and she brought him the
眼鏡
day's
をかけた
handouts.
子
She wears glasses.
それをクラス
One
の
of the
男の
boys
子
in
に
the
から
class
かわれ
made
た
fun
ら
of
し
him,
く
he
て
says.
それで
And then
ユイ
Yui.
And then she started to go on in a quiet voice. She told me that Dad had been busy lately, that he was being as obnoxious as ever, that she'd ordered him to stop drinking for a week today, that Yui was still afraid of men, but that she made friends with a boy in her class, that Yuto wasn't getting any taller. He said it didn't bother him, but it obviously did. That the air conditioner in the living room wasn't working well, and she and Yui cut Dad's allowance to buy a new one. The two of them were saving up their own allowance too. The old woman who was a regular at Alba Clinic, the one who taught Kurisu how to sew, wasn't doing too well lately. As she mixed up a clothes hanger with a clothespin, and one of the patients had laughed at her. I listened to her for a long time, only speaking occasionally. Her voice gradually got softer, and then eventually I realized that she was talking in her sleep. Then I realized something. So that's it. Kurisu was telling me everything that had happened in the half year I'd been gone. What had happened at home. What Dad and Yui and Yuto had been up to. She'd been saying all this because she wanted me to know.
Then...
As I waited her to finish her sentence, I could hear her soft breathing. She'd fallen asleep. I slowly stood up, careful not to make a sound. I adjusted the blanket over her once more and went to leave.
If you're still thinking about chasing that case...
She was probably talking in her sleep. I heard the rest as I left the room and understood what she was trying to say all too well.